like super foggy. I've done my best. Wow, what a day. Alright, welcome to Morning Medley number 297. At least I think that's the number. I actually guessed at the number this morning, so. I didn't look at the previous one. I guessed. There it is. What song is that? If I could change the world. Thank you, Liana. That's actually pretty important to me. I think I realized why. I realized recently why I'm so invested in the health of Booba, and the realization made me very sad. But I'm not gonna get into that on the stream. I hope you had a good rest of your Monday, Liana. Welcome to Tuesday, Pizzanista Tuesday. You know, pretty much every Tuesday last year, with the exception of like I think 3 Tuesdays, I went to Pizzanista. I think I didn't go to Pizzanista the Tuesday I was in Arizona because it would have been physically impossible. I didn't go to Pizzanista on the Tuesday that I was. Was I out of town on a Tuesday? When I was up in the mountains, I can't remember if I was up there on a Tuesday, but if I happened to be, I did not go to Pizzanista. And I did not get Pizzanista on. There's another Tuesday. I'm trying to think. There's another Tuesday I didn't get. But, anywho, today's Pizzanista Tuesday. Today might be the first day, or the first Tuesday I can remember. Hello, Jesse, and good morning to you. The first Tuesday I can remember where I have not been in the mood for pizza. Like, I actually don't want Pizzanista today. I'm probably going to go buy it anyway. I'm going to get it, but this might be the first Tuesday in memory that I've been not in the mood for pizza. Whew. But Pizzanista Tuesday is also Trash Tuesday, so there will be the trash men coming through. This one right now is picking up a few mattresses, a few soiled mattresses that have been left out on the curb for a few days now. Is everything okay? Asked Jesse. Yeah, I guess. I'm really bad at answering that question because I think my answer to that question is always yeah, even if the answer is no. I don't know. Everything's whatever. I'm alive, right? That's pretty sick. It's pretty sick. I'm still doing the thing. My hands still work. Is that so, Leon? Does it matter if the music is bad? Do plants have taste, or is it just any music? Rock makes them die, huh? The song's called Double Let's. time I was in Anthem, I was like a kid though. Medley Star, is that you? Wow. How are you? Oh my goodness. Wow. How's Seattle? How's Seattle on the like? Wait, you're not the only person in Seattle. Oh, I guess was that Maddie that was also in Seattle. Anyways, how's Seattle as a city right now? How's it holding up? You know, 5-4 love letters is something I realized like outside of the stream that I only play when I'm upset, and I guess I haven't been actively upset in a minute, and so playing it was actually kind of weird for me. The rhythms, I can't tell if it's the way that I'm playing that rhythm, specifically in love letters, or if it's that rhythm in general, but it translates to anger and frustration to me for some reason. Hmm. Well, the streams missed you too, Jelly. Welcome back. Uh. Oh, I didn't finish the medley. I didn't finish the medley. I'm sorry, play Mass Effect 1 until Mass Effect 2 was already out and like winning awards. And that game, even then, even way back then, just after Mass Effect 2 came out, Mass Effect 1 was like barely playable. So I can only imagine what it must feel like playing that game now. I mean, no level of like HD remakes and updates can save that game. That game is nigh unplayable. But that's cool that you're replaying it. I really genuinely enjoy the Mass Effect games. I never picked up Andromeda because it got such bad reviews. Am I missing out on a good game, Jelly? Word up, Jelly. I like that joke, Brian. Sorry, I just saw your joke. Ooh. God, sometimes just moving one note in a chord really is all you need to make it just a little bit interesting. This chord, it usually is a, but But just moving this note from here to here makes it sound so much more wistful. I don't know. From there being A, it's there B, A, B. I like it. I'm a fan. That is used in the in my song. I gotta change the name to Jumble Butt now, but in Jumble Butt, wait, it goes. I gotta do it with the Rhodes piano. It sounds weird with piano for some reason. I'm never not proud of that chord progression. Yeah, the course of that song, the chords that are used in the course of that song. And then this chord is basically the same as the earlier chord that's played. It's the same as this chord, but I've just moved this note up here to get that like. Taking any, for anybody that plays piano, or really any instrument, I guess it works also if you play guitar, like, try taking a chord and just moving one of the notes up or down. It really changes more than you think it would, especially when you're playing it in a progression. Cypher's asking for 295 through 297. Yes, thank you. 295 is orchestral harp. Now that makes sense. Oh, and that's nice. It's nice. Orchestral harp is 295. 296 is a Yang Chin. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm mispronouncing that. Yang Chin. Yangchin. Also kind of a plucky stringed instrument. I've never seen it, but I assume it's stringed and plucky. $297, however, is sorry. It's timpani drums. Oh no, Cyber, we may have ran out of good sounds. It might just be all drums from here on out. But they're tuned. Ooh. Here. But they are tuned, so I can still play songs with them. Who's got cereal? You know what? That would actually be cool if they were all drums from here on out, because that would mean that it's like a cool end to season 2. Season 2 runs out of the usable sounds. But I could be wrong. Timpani, technically, since it's tuned, I'm not going to cheat by checking ahead and seeing what the next sounds are, but... Um, wait, we're at 297? Maybe it'll tell me. It doesn't. It doesn't. It just says 155 through 500. 155, sound number 155 through sound number 535 are all XG Lite sounds. Oh my god, I think I just figured out what that means. DGX Lite. Oh, that's funny. So there's a version of this keyboard called it DGX Lite. And its sounds are maybe not as good as this keyboard, but it came out years before this keyboard came out. When this keyboard came out, they made all these new sounds for it, but they also included all the older sounds just in case anybody wanted to access those. And 155 through 535 are all those sounds. It sounds like Boo Boo when he's big and strong. Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country. A very, very fond memory I have of Donkey Kong Country is me really wanting Donkey Kong Country and asking my dad to get it for me. And my dad got me Donkey Kong Country 2, which was a very good game. But I remember being bummed initially, because for those of you that have played Donkey Kong Country, it's a game with, Donkey Kong in it. If you've played Donkey Kong Country 2, Donkey Kong is not in that game. I mean, he's on the box art in a little cage in the background, and technically he's in the game, but he's not playable, and you don't even see him for the majority of the game. The whole goal of Donkey Kong Country 2 is that you're trying to save Donkey Kong, who has been taken hostage. And so I just wanted to play Donkey Kong so bad, and my dad went and got me a really cool game that you didn't get to play as Donkey Kong in. But I think that I'm grateful for that because Dixie was in it, and Dixie was not the worst, And Diddy was still there. Which is important. Something that's weird is, I don't know why they did this, but in Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country 2, Donkey Kong Country 3, they kept getting further away from the cast members, the Kong family members that I feel like people cared about. Like, we love Donkey Kong, and then they took him out of 2. And it was like, okay, well, Donkey Kong isn't here, but at least Diddy Kong is here. And then when you play Donkey Kong Country 3, Diddy was gone. Not only was Diddy gone, but even Dixie was gone. Wait. Was Dixie gone? I know it was Baby Kong. I think it was Baby Kong and Dixie. I don't think it was Baby and Tiny. Because I don't think Tiny was in it until Donkey Kong 64. I don't want to talk about Donkey Kong anymore. Anyways, thank you, everybody, forgot I was on that sound. Thanks, everybody, for making the time today. Ooh, that's nice. We did a full hour medley. Doesn't feel like it, but we did it. We lasted the full hour. For those of you that aren't aware, the morning medley is broken up into Dixie, Kong, and Baby. Okay, so it was Dixie. Sometimes, Cyber, understandably, I will occasionally get Dixie and Tiny mixed up with one another. Dixie's pretty cool, though, I guess. She can use her hair to pick up things, which isn't necessary. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense why all the lady Kongs are blonde. Why are they blonde? Is the Kong family white? Could I make a request? Yeah, go for it, Lindsay. But what was I saying? Oh. The morning medleys are broken up into seasons. The second season of Morning Medley ends this Friday. The second season ends this Friday, so we're kind of in like a home stretch of sorts. And it's nice. I feel, it's nice. I feel accomplished? I don't know. Is that accurate? I feel, anytime I'm approaching any type of milestone, it usually feels good. I feel like I've accomplished something, even if I haven't done anything. It's like that New Year's effect. The effect that New Year's has on people where you feel like you've done something when you really, all you did was exist for another 12. So, I missed season 2 then, says Jelly. I mean, not all of it. Crap, did you miss the entirety of it? We've been gone that long. I feel like you were here in the beginning of. Oh, maybe you weren't. Season 2 was episode 200 to this Friday. So if you weren't here for episode 200, then. Wowie. You did miss all of season 2. No worries, though. Started doing a lot more production streams, a lot more smooth production streams, I suppose, in season 2. That's the thing of season 2 that I'm particularly proud of, is the attention to production streams. What else? What else? In season 2, I feel like season 2 is when we started doing the movies, but then we promptly stopped, or I should say, and take ownership of it. I promptly stopped doing them. Not because I didn't want to do them anymore, but I just, didn't. I don't know. We'll do one maybe this Friday or this Saturday to kind of celebrate the end of season 2. Watch Cats or something. Julia says I can't remember. It's been a minute. I've got to go back and catch up. Don't worry about going back and catching up. Just be here for season 3. Season 3 will be fun, I think. 3 pizza parties so far. Oh, that makes me sad. Man, everything's a mess right now, isn't it? Anyways, I'm not going to bum anybody out. Season 2 is ending. Season 3, there will be a brief break before Season 3 starts. I've said this before. Among Us was played. I was played in Among Us. But yeah, it was a good season. There's going to be a brief break before Season 3 starts. But how is I'll ask like more stream focused questions this Friday. I'll actually talk this Friday, and so you can come into that and we'll have like a season end wrap up. But until then, like, how is everybody doing? Kind of. I mean, it's Tuesday. I'm about to get out of here in like an hour and get some pizza. But like, I know everything sucks right now and everything's awful. But like, is everybody like generally like hanging on? You guys okay for the most part? I was thinking about my plant recently because I got a new leaf out of it, I'm getting another one now. What was I saying? So I generally fine, says Brian. The homebodies thrive in quarantine. Word up, Brian. You a homebody? You a homebody? Glad to hear it. Mostly because a few people are louder than others after the movie. This is true. This is true, Cyber. This is very true. Joey says I've been doing better than I've been in a while. I chopped my locks off last year. 10 years of growing them. Yay. That's a thing. I'm alright, feeling a bit better lately, says Liana. That makes me feel good, Liana. Vanilla. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that song. Do I know how to play that anymore? Give me a second. My hair will probably be gone at some point. A non-committal thing. That's really cool that you cut your hair, though, Jelly. It's a hard thing to do. At least for me, it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. Junk is asking me how I'm holding up. Thanks for asking, Junk. I appreciate that. I'm okay. Things suck in general, but the parrots are back. Things suck in general, but I'm like, trying to figure out something. Keeping my head to the grindstone. Keep working on music. Oh, it was hard, but I'm so glad I did it, says Jelly about the haircut. New beginnings and all. I'm loving the very short hair life. That's sick. Sometimes I pull up images of myself when I had short hair. I wonder if I'll ever be back. Oh my god, I don't remember this song at all. That doesn't sound right. Oh, go muscle memory, huh? Oh. There's some songs that just kind of fall out of rotation, and I forget I even wrote them. Word umbe. There. People often forget about the money. People often forget about the money aspect. Liana says, "Dang, I forgot I once photoshopped Omni's hair onto a Kirby." You know what's really funny, Liana? Okay, so there are two images in my phone that when there's two parts to this. You know when like something's probably pretty simple, but you just haven't devoted the amount of time in order to fix it? Like maybe you're like, oh, I kind of hate that like for example for me, my kitchen drawer was broken, like the hinge on it, or not the hinge, but the way it was connected to the drawer, like the way the face was connected to the drawer was kind of broken on one end. So if I opened the drawer, it would sometimes kind of pop off, and I would like affix it back into place. But it was always annoying; it would always pop off, and it was a very simple fix. Eventually, after almost a year of this, mind you guys, I went to Home Depot, bought some wood glue, and I fixed it. Now it works fine. But it was one of those things that I was just like, dang it, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. One day I'm gonna fix this, and I finally did. And I have this like Google Drive thing, obviously, because I have a Google phone. I stream off of a Google phone. Thank you, by the way, Lindsay. I stream off of a Google phone. Google has like your library is integrated in this kind of the same way that people have like an iCloud. Google has Google Drive that comes with your phone. So um, a lot of your photos can be like auto backed up and stuff like that. Whatever. Cyber knows what I'm talking about. Anyways, I have that, and there are a couple of images that no matter how many times I go to a new phone or whatever, I can't figure out how to erase them. I've erased them off my phone, but since I haven't erased them off my account, my Google account, they always just kind of pop back into my gallery. And one of those images is the first image that was taken on with my Google account, which was a photo that my ex took of us hanging out in some lounge. And so I have to see that image every time I open my gallery. And I also see the image of Kirby with my hair photoshopped onto it. And it's kind of this weird, like, mix of emotions. Every time I open my phone, it's like, a little bit upset and then a little bit like amused, and then I scroll through like the rest of the photo. I don't know how to get rid of that photo, but yeah, I definitely have it. Sometimes I open it. I know you made it. I always think about you when I see it. Yeah. I don't. I don't even remember why that was a joke or what that was for. Why you made that. I don't remember why that was a joke, but I do remember talking about it in a stream and then you almost immediately making it. Never mind. Cyber doesn't know what I'm talking about. I just assume Cyber because you have a Google phone. You have a Google Pixel, and so you know how like they do the thing where it like backs up to Google Drive, like all your photos. They give you like a gigabyte free or something. I don't remember. Anyways, Lexi wants to know why Leona did it. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty sick. It's one of my treasured Leona memories. Whoa, you know what? I've met Jelly. I mean, I'm not saying Jelly. I'm not saying this as if I just remembered that I met you, but I feel like there's like a few different classes of people that. Oh, let me not say class. That's weird. There's a few different groups. I don't know. Groups of people that come to the streams, and like one of them is like people who have met me in real life and people who haven't. And usually Liana's the only one in the stream that has met me in real life. But I have met Jelly several times, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I've met you several times. Right? Yeah. We have a lot of friends in common. That's funny. Anyways, both times we visited LA, actually. Yeah, that sounds about right. I do be living here in Junk. I do be living here, and I do show up. I do show up when people are in town. Or at least I used to. I don't think I do that anymore. I think I've turned into a bit of a hermit. Now people can act like, arguably come to LA, stay here for like a whole 2 weeks and never see me. But before it was like, if you were here for a weekend, I would find some way to show up at a thing you were at. I stopped caring about certain people, says Taylor Nicole, in the past, so I delete old photos. I don't care to keep. Same. I've deleted the photos several times, but like I said, because of the way it's backed up, it's like saved in a cloud that I haven't. I keep deleting it from my phone, but not deleting it from my Google Drive, which is like just a problem I have. Problem I have now. I have the picture. Does Liana? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Liana doesn't have it anymore, but I definitely have it. I think I have it on my laptop too. Anyways, both times it was in LA. I think as you said, your hair was perfect for. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think I was talking about Kirby. I was talking about like if Kirby swallowed you, what would Kirby look like then? What would Kirby do then? Like I was talking about things that are not necessarily iconic. Iconic's a big word, but things that are particular or indicative of you and your character visibly. And so it's like if Kirby was mimicking you, what are the things that would be added to Kirby? Would it be hoop earrings? Are you somebody that wears hoop earrings all the time? I'll post it. I'll post it in the Discord if I can find it before Liana does. I really like that version of the Booba theme. Versus this one. Like, I mean, that version's cool too, but I really like this one. I love that one. that do like slight. Oh, thanks, Liana. I like songs that do slight tempo changes. I mean, technically, all of the songs that I play in the morning medley do have fluctuating tempo changes just because that's how I play piano. And I think how most people play piano. I could be wrong, but I think just it's natural for a human to gradually slow down and speed up at certain parts of composition, whether they made the composition or not. But I think songs that I have, there are certain songs I have where it's kind of baked in there, you know, where the tempo change is scripted almost. Like for this one, I know. No, sorry. The reason that I sometimes have trouble with that is because I'm not exactly playing a chord. Good morning, Kid James. Good morning, Kid James. The reason that I have some trouble playing that is because it's not necessarily a chord. This bit. I've talked earlier, like maybe last week or a couple weeks ago, about what that is and why I'm doing this like really high octave with my pinky instead of just going. Well, I'm going. The reason I'm doing that is to kind of keep a melody while I'm putting harmonies in it. It's like a whole thing. I've talked about it in Friday streams too. I recently went over into the small song and added some vocal harmonies. And there's so much, guys. There's so much to not even just lyricism, right? Because lyricism isn't even necessarily something I would say is one of my strong suits, or really where I'm a powerhouse in. But vocal recording is still, I would say, relatively new to me. Probably the newest aspect of my songwriting process, right? Like I've been making music for years and years and years and years and years and years, but I've been singing and recording vocals for years also, but significantly less, a smaller amount of years. And I would say that I've only been seriously recording vocals for the past, since 2020. And when I say seriously recording vocals, I'm talking about actually tuning my vocals, actually compressing my vocals, actually layering and EQing my vocals properly, and also recording with a microphone and not a cell phone. This new run of songs like Just Believing, songs like Picture This, songs like Into the Small, songs like Jumble Butt are the only songs that I have as a musician where I've actually sang into a microphone and not into my cell phone to record them. So it's a significant shift, and it's been kind of not a growing pain, but it has been what's the word? It's been a learning experience. It's been a learning experience. And I would say that vocals are, no, I feel comfortable saying this. I would say vocals are the most finicky thing that one can record for music. I would say that with confidence. I think that vocals are inconsistent. They're wildly inconsistent. Since you can't plug directly in, there's no way to direct in vocals, you know? Like, you can do the best you can, you know? You can soundproof, like I could soundproof this closet, for example, and record vocals in, and I could have it all treated in there, and I could have a nice pop filter and everything. But the thing about vocals is you never truly 100% can get a clear in vocal. And when I'm saying clear in, I mean like, if I'm gonna record this piano into FL Studio, I'm not going to have a microphone hovering over these speakers. I'm going to take an instrument cable and plug it into this instrument and then plug it into the interface. Therefore, the sound is going directly in there. I'm not getting interference from the trash man. I'm not getting like my breath. I'm not getting my fingers hitting the keys. I'm getting nothing but the clear, direct sound. When you're recording vocals, that's impossible, right? You have to sing out into some type of acoustic space, and that mic is going to catch everything in that acoustic space, which means that I can sing a line while I'm sitting, and then sing that same line while I'm standing, and then sing that same line in the closet, and then sing that same line at 5 p.m., and then sing that same line when I first wake up in the morning, and they're all going to sound notably different. And having this lack of consistency and predictability in vocal performances is a nightmare at times. Definitely a nightmare at times. And that's just getting the sound in. I'm not talking about coming up with melodies, coming up with lyrics, coming up with harmonies. That's a whole nother thing, right? But it's definitely been an uphill battle, vocal processing. It's a pain, says Brian. Yes. Yes, Brian, it is. I think, oh, Umbe echoes this. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. They are a pain. Vocals are a pain. But I think, something that I'm also learning about vocals is there used to be this thing, right, where people say if you're going to be making art, and this was for music, this is for animation, this is for illustration, this is for writing, you're going to be making art, you should take references, right? Take something that you like. Take a song, a movie, a video game, a painting, a drawing, a book that you like, and study it. You know, don't just consume it. Like, actually study it. What are the people doing? What is the creator doing in this piece of work to get it to a point that you're liking it? What is it about this song that is really connecting to you? What is it about this movie that makes it look so good to you? And obviously, I'm a musician, right? First and foremost. But I have actively consumed other bits of media. For example, I was in a music video. I was in several music videos actually, but the specific music video that I'm talking about right now is a Mark Rodito music video called "You Only Love Me When I'm Gone." It's a very good song, but in the music video, it took us about 3-4 days to shoot it. And there were so many things in the music video that someone, me, who has seen lots of music videos, never think about. Come on, guy. Get out of here. So one of the things that I used to not think about when looking at music videos when I was like a kid, you know, I would look at it in a Fall Out Boy music video, I'm looking at them play their guitars and do the thing. You know, he does the thing, or he like does a full windmill with the bass guitar and then just kind of catches it and starts playing the riff, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing, bro. And it never occurred to me that these guitars were not plugged in as a kid. You know, I watched and I loved and I danced and I sang, and then at some point I go, these instruments aren't plugged into anything because it's a music video. It's not being performed live, and nobody that's seeing it is getting angry at the fact that it's not realistic because the guitars aren't plugged in. They just aren't. You know, that's just a part of the music video magic. Something that I didn't think about until I was actually in a video, is lighting. I never thought about lighting when filming things. You know, sure, like people will do their like YouTuber thing and they'll have like the ring light, or somebody will have like a sick like dome light, but I never thought about colored lighting, like actually having like pink lights. I've seen so many videos where things looked pink or things looked kind of blue, or I've looked at TV shows like Marvelous Miss Maisel where things look away, things look kind of colored this way, and I always just thought that that was the color of the environment. I thought, oh, it just kind of looks like this in this one house. But they're specifically lit a specific way by somebody who knows what they're doing to either make things look a specific way on screen or elicit a specific reaction from the person watching it. There's a whole bunch of different cool theoretical reasons why scenes are lit specific ways or shot specific ways. And I never thought about that until I was in a music video. And it was because I was having to look on the other side of the camera and see all the stuff, you know, all the things. And so now when I look at music videos, I look at them more actively, attentively, from like a study perspective. Now, it was funny because yesterday everybody was talking about Bill Wirtz because Bill Wirtz released a video. I was messing around with Blender in 2018, I want to say. That was like my thing. I would go to this place called Toasty. I would go to this place called Toasty on 7th Street. And I would sit in there and I was just kind of teaching myself Blender. The only reason I was doing this is because a friend of mine was like, yo, it's free, so why not? And I was like, oh, that would be cool to like mess around, see if I could make some cool like graphical stuff. I was trying to make visuals for my shows, so I like was messing around in Blender. And it's impossible to see the new Bill Wirtz video, at least for me, and I'm sure for a lot of other people, without thinking about what that project file in Blender must have looked like. Every time you see something pop out or you're seeing the perspective change, I'm just like, wow, that was actually pretty dope. That was really impressive. Because you're looking at it from more of a study and active consumption perspective as opposed to this like kind of passive consumption of like, oh, this is pretty and this sounds cool. Same thing with Bill Wirt's music. When I'm listening to the song, I'm hearing all the weird things in the song, both harmonically or rhythmically, and I'm thinking, wow, this project file in a DAW must have looked wild. You know, active listening versus passive listening. So I said, the video was great, Cyber. It was very cool. Words Neely and Cole. I would like a Bill Wirtz and Lewis Cole thing. That would be cool. That would be cool. I would like that. Crap, I missed a thing. Joey says, I feel like I can't consume media uncritically anymore. I can't look at a piece of art or listen to music and play a game and not wonder what goes into how things are and how things are done. Word. Even the Elon Musk brain chip allows me to direct in vocals. I'll do it. Ooh, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. But yeah, directed. So my point is, that was a very long detour to get to my point. But my point is, when listening to music or making art, people would always say, go study what you like. You know, if you want to make music and you really, really look up to Taylor Swift, go listen to Taylor Swift songs and try to figure out what exactly it is that goes into a Taylor Swift song. And then listen to your song and go, how do I bridge this gap? Obviously, if you've been producing or songwriting for 3 weeks, maybe you're not going to be able to write a Taylor Swift song because of skill or because of resources and all kinds of things like that. But it's always nice to have a goal, right? It's always nice to have like a visible goal of like, this is what I'm working towards, instead of just kind of floundering like me. But the problem that I had when it comes to production, right? Sound is so nothing, right? Like when you look at, like, if you're an artist or an animator, for the most part, I'm not saying that it's, you know, white and black, but if you're an artist for the most part and you're looking at somebody illustrate something, you can kind of see what's going on, right? Like you can kind of see like, oh, I see what they drew there, or the animation here, you slow it down, you can kind of see some of the frames. Music doesn't really work like that, right? You can't listen to music and then slow the music down and then see what the DAW looked like. You can't see the notes and stuff like that. It's a very, very sonic thing, and if you aren't very good at dissecting things by ear, or you don't have a trained ear, it can be nigh impossible. So like somebody looking at, you know, a scene in a movie, maybe they can do a little bit better job of figuring out how it was lit, how somebody was able to achieve a certain visual effect. Listening to a song, it's really hard to figure out how the reverb was panned, right? Like, it's very difficult. So people used to say, oh, go listen to a song you like and then, you know, bridge the gap that way. And I would think, this is impossible. I'd be listening to like a Deadmau5 song and then sitting in front of FL Studio 3 going like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, nothing in here sounds like anything I'm hearing from his album. And now I'm slowly listening to some vocals on records that I like. And even though I don't immediately get it, you know, hear what's being done there, because there's a million different things in the vocal chain, right? I'm understanding a little bit more of what's happening. And I'm able to go into FL Studio and open it up and go like, okay, the vocals sit here. For example, there's a Crack Is That song that I love, and the piano for the longest time, I love the piano and I love the way the bass are in that song. And so I have piano, you know, in my songs. I have feels like I'm falling. playing that, and then I play a bass line under it, right? Do-ba-do-do-ba-do-do-ba-do-do-ba. I have a bass line under it. And they were clashing or just generally like not sounding as clear. They weren't sounding as clear together. And one of the things that I run into often in music is I'm always playing the piano around here. Typically I'm playing the piano, most of the notes are happening in this range. Very few are happening up here. Very few are happening up in this range. If you think about like key line, that entire song pretty much takes place in this range. A lot of my songs do, because it's kind of a richer, there's more low notes, so things like hit harder, as opposed to playing it up here. I'm missing some of the low frequencies, so I play in this area. I record a lot of piano in that area, because that's where I'm comfortable. But then when you put bass in there, it's going to clash with it for frequency reasons that I won't necessarily get into right now in the morning medley stream. But I went back and I listened to that song that I liked, the piano and the bass in, and I realized that the piano was lacking a lot of low end. It was this really kind of thin, tinny, high endy sounding piano. So I just went into my project file and I EQ'd out some of the low end, and then it started fitting a little bit better. And I was like, that's funny, because now I think I'm understanding how to take point from reference tracks just a little bit better. I can't do it 100% yet, but I can listen to a track, and for a little bit now I can hear what exactly needs to be put in or taken out of that track in order to hit a goal. Brian says, I can safely say Jim James is an artist I've probably studied the most because of his earnest approach to compositions. Less theory, more feeling kind of thing. I feel that, Brian. I get that. Other than Omni, though, I guess Bowen, his work resonates quite closely with mine, so he's good for study. Yeah, Bowen's sick. Bowen is sick and a very nice person. Also, yeah, I think it was Liana, that brought to my attention that Just Believing is a chord progression that Bowen also uses. That I don't know. I think he goes all the way down, but I know that part. And then I think we split off, because I don't think he goes. But still, that was actually really cool. It was kind of fun to find that I and he would arrive at kind of the same resolution from two very different places, because I would say that, well, Just Believing and Miss You, no, they're pretty similar. I would say similar in vibe, I guess. Mine's a little like more of a dance song, because it has that 4-on-the-floor like housey thing. Has housey roots, I suppose. I can make a list, Brian, and I'll take a minute. I don't think it was me, but I remember that combo. Wow, who could it have been? That was a good combo, but yeah. To me, a lot of my chord progressions come from the same root, which is like if you see Just Believing, there's this dissension. And then you kind of wind it up and start over again. I'll usually have like a long dissension, and then it's like wind up chords that kind of like bring it back to the beginning. Same thing with Just Believing. I mean, picture this. up chord. Let's start it over. Usually kind of rest on those. Yeah, I usually kind of rest on those. I don't think that I pattern my music and my sound after specific artists, and there's no shame in that for sure. If you do that, probably helps you progress a lot faster. But I think there are specific things like there is the way the relationship between the piano and the bass. I loved in a specific Crackazat song, and a lot of Crackazat songs to be fair, but I loved that. And there's this whole thing about real instruments versus fake instruments, right? Real versus fake, right? Fake to me would be a synthesizer, and I know there's no such thing as a fake instrument, but what I'm talking about is like acoustic instruments versus digital instruments. Like you have a guitar, that is what would be like an acoustic instrument to me. Like it has its own range, it has limits, it has capabilities. You need some form of physical prowess to be able to play it. There is a process and a technique to it. And then you have something like like an Arturia Micro Brute, or you have a Korg like Micro Korg S, like synthesizers, or you can kind of like turn knobs to get to them, get to specific sounds, and they have very, very little capability, right? They don't necessarily even have a realistic frequency range. They can play notes that are lower than this and higher than this. They have a wild range. They have all kinds of things that they can do. And when I got into making a lot of music in FL Studio, I was using a lot of synthesizers. And the cool thing about synthesizers is they're incredibly malleable, right? Like you can make it sound kind of like a piano, or sound kind of like a bass guitar, or sound kind of like a violin. You can get all kinds of cool timbres and textures and sounds and ranges out of them. But the one thing that's weird about that, or the thing you're not being trained for, is how real instruments behave. Now, I spent a lot of time on synthesizers, and when I was trying to mix sounds together, and maybe one sound was too like mid-rangey, I would just cut out some of the mid-range, and it was very easy because it wasn't a real instrument. I didn't feel like I was losing any of the fidelity or dynamics in the instrument because it was just some sound I made. However, if you do that same thing to a guitar or a saxophone or a piano, you will be able to hear frequencies missing from it. You know, it's definitely something that you'll be able to pick up on. And so mixing out actual elements of something, like let's say you sing a song and then you're EQing your vocals so they fit better in the mix, there is a very, very like visceral reaction to EQing frequencies out of a sound you already recognize as a real sound. When you hear your own voice and it's being low pass, you'll think to yourself, that doesn't sound like my voice anymore. Like that's not what I sound like. Or if you're playing an accordion and you have to low pass it for some reason so it doesn't clash with another instrument, you'll think, well, now it doesn't sound like an accordion anymore. And it's definitely something that is good to have so that you don't go past this kind of like point of no return. But it's also something that you're going to have to, as a sound engineer or as a mixing engineer or as a musician, gradually get used to. Because a lot of the songs that you've heard, a lot of the big pop songs you've heard that have guitar in it, those things have been EQ'd, you know, and there are frequencies missing from them, you know. When I was playing in bands, you know, we're playing live in a room together, and nothing's being EQ'd. We're all just playing into the open air, and it sounds good. But when it comes to like recording music, you're dealing with a few more limitations with like dB, headroom, all that stupid stuff that I don't really want to get into in the stream. Anyways, back to Booba. Booba got some new leaves, and it got me thinking, you know. The new leaves, I don't know, right? I'm going to suspend some belief, right? I don't know anything about plants. I've never owned one until 11 weeks ago. You know, I have to take his 11-week picture actually soon. Maybe after the stream. I didn't own a plant until 11 weeks ago. And I don't know what I thought happens with plants. I didn't know what I thought was going to happen with plants. I also don't like that now that I have a plant and I like my plant. Plant people. There's a there's a there's a lot of plant people. There's a lot of plant people on Instagram that won't leave me alone now, and I would like to go back to the time where they left me alone. Um, I'll change my nickname in the services, Brian, so it's less confusing. Oh, I didn't know you were in there. Is that who you are? Yeah, yeah, yeah. The plant people won't leave me alone. It's kind of like when I like made one beat. I made a lot of beats, but I made one beat for a rapper, and he tagged me in it, even though I told him not to. I said, "Hey, bro, don't tag me in this," and he said, "I'm gonna tag you in this," and I said, "Haha, don't though," and then he tagged me in it, and then like all of these like Instagram SoundCloud rappers like crawled out of the cracks. They were like, I heard you made the beats. I would like one beat, please. Just like the one you made for him. Please. I want beats. And it was horrible because I wasn't that person. I wasn't like I didn't do the hip hop beats thing. I was like, man, I'm like trying to make songs. They're like, oh, delete the pianos. We don't need the pianos in there. Just the beat, please. And I I felt like I was being misrepresented. And so I feel like I got a plant. I'll probably get another plant at some point. But then there's also people. There's the people, you know. There's the people with the very very nice Los Angeles loft in downtown, and you can't take a photo in their apartment without at least 4 or 5 plants being in the frame. And then I posted having a plant, and they were just like, make sure he's getting this one. What kind of what strain is it? And I was like, oh my god, why are they messaging me? Where this person hasn't talked to me in like 6 years. What's going on? I'm like, yeah, here's a picture of my plants. Would you like some pictures of my plants? I don't want pictures of your plants. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't send me. Don't DM me pictures of your plants. I feel like I've just had a child, and now everybody wants to send me their baby photos. Everyone wants to send me their baby photos. Taylor Nicole can do it because Taylor Nicole's technically the only reason I have a plant. Wow, that's actually really interesting. Easy Door was telling me to watch a movie for 2 years, and I eventually watched it. I told Taylor Nicole that I was going to get a plant. I told Taylor Nicole I was going to buy a plant, and I believe the year was 2017, maybe 18, 2018. And it took me a long time. It took Taylor Nicole leaving the streams for a while, and then just coming back randomly for me to like actually buy a plant. So shout out to Taylor Nicole wherever you are. Yeah, plant gremlins, Jelly. I love the plant gremlins, and to be fair, I always kind of looked at plant gremlins from the other side of the fence, you know. And I was like, "Yo, you do your thing," and I feel like they're trying to one of us me. They're trying to like one of us chant me, and I don't. I'm not there. I'm not there yet. Maybe one day, right? Maybe one day I'll be there, but I'm not there yet. Don't one of us me yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. I had a whole thing. I used to get upset with my friend that would always send me photos of their dog. Oh, I really made them mad. I think I just one day I was like, yo, I don't care about your dog. I know like you do, and that's so dope. But like, I don't care about your dog. I don't want pictures of your dog, man. Like, I'm so sorry. You're you're punishing yourself. You're punishing yourself. I think if somebody puts photos of their dog on the timeline, that's fine actually. Something seems something for me is like more egregious by like sending me personally a picture of a dog that I don't want to see. It's like when people send me memes. It's like I don't want this. I didn't ask for this. Yeah, don't send this to me. Give this to the timeline. Give this to the TL. I think they like this. They'll probably like this one. But yeah, I don't really want to see it. I don't really want to say. I think those are the three. Don't send me pictures of your dogs or pets. I'll put pets. Dogs, pets in parentheses. Definitely no cats. Don't send me pictures of your pets. Do not send me pictures of your baby, who I'm sure is great and you love, and I'm glad you have one. But like, what am I gonna do with this picture? What am I gonna do with a picture of a baby? So don't send me pictures of your babies or your pets. And I think plants is getting there too now. Maybe if it's edible. Oh. You can send me pictures of edible plants, like bananas or something. Hmm. I never thought about that. I never thought about that. That's different. That's food. If you're gonna eat your plant, I guess you can send me pictures of that. People sending pictures of food doesn't bother me. Why is that? Wow. I've got to do some soul searching. When somebody has made a meal and they're very happy with it and they send me personally a picture of that meal, I'm actually fine with that. Um, Granted, it doesn't happen very often. People don't do that to me very often. I think if it happened often, I would probably get tired of it just like anything else. But I think most of my friends, with the exception of a few who are like kitchen wizards, most of my friends don't cook very often. And I think when they do, they're like really happy about it. And since they know I cook a lot because I've usually cooked for them, they'll like send me some like, hey, I made that thing you made me that one time. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Feels personal, but like, yeah. I don't know that I would send a photo of Booba to somebody unless they specifically asked for one. I don't know that I would do that. But I do put them on. I do put photos of Booba on my Lime timeline. There's got to be a better way to say Lime timeline. Um, Booba says Booba consumption time. Yeah, Lindsay, I just said that. Oh, I don't know if there's like a lag. Yeah, like I said, I post pictures of Booba on a timeline, which, as I said before, I'm fine with people posting whatever they want on the timeline. I don't care. Somebody sending me a specific, um, like directly a photo of it, like I don't want. Because if you don't want to see Booba on the timeline, you can always unfollow me. That's fine. It's hard to unfollow somebody from personally messaging you. It's more work. Anyways, Julia says, "Ooh, tell me the loophole." I feel like that is a song of mine. Maybe I never finished it. Whoa! I've got a pretty good like eternal clock. Like my body clock is right. I was like, it feels like the stream is over, and there's only 2 minutes left, so that's good. Um, Gonna become a typing keyboard to MIDI guy on me. Oh, you know what, Umbe? I was that guy for a pretty long time. So, I mean, more power to you. I was that guy for I want to say like at least 2 years because I never had a MIDI controller. You know, and technically, the only time I actually got a quote unquote MIDI controller is when I got my Yamaha Reface. When I got my Yamaha Reface CP, it doubled as a MIDI controller, and that's when I started actually typing. When I started playing out chords with a MIDI controller. Before then, it was always a mouse or a computer keyboard. So, I mean, do it if you're feeling it. It's definitely a skill to be built for sure. Oh, Joy says you want to say I only want to see edible plants, and people can still show you house plants that aren't toxic for consumption. That is a pretty funny loophole. I mean, if they're gonna eat it, I suppose, because at that point, I guess anything is edible. But if they are going to eat it. Like my friend Schilling, who I love dearly, has a father, as we do, as people tend to have, and her father plants strawberries. He has like a strawberry patch, and he photos of the strawberries that he's grown, and that doesn't bother me because he's eating them. For some reason, I think it crosses this really weird line where there's like a circle of like people sending me food they've prepared, and this is people sending me their plants, and like in that cross section, that's okay. That's okay. When their plant has become food they've prepared, then I'm okay with it. But yeah, I really miss him. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. I want to grow strawberries. I just consume too many. I consume far too many. I don't know how to keep myself supplied. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, by the way, Umbe, about your controller breaking. Um, Sorry to hear that about the controller breaking. And as far as the server edition being up to me, thank you, Cyber, for saying that. I don't want a baby plant pet server, but if the people want a baby plant pet, if the people want a baby plant pet server, then people can have it. I will just not be in it ever. I will just never go. I'll like meet the server, and then you guys can have all the fun you want. To be fair, the only servers that I'm in right now, other than the general one, is I feel like I've been in the media one a lot. The media one's bumping. You guys have been keeping the media one very busy. Brian, you have no idea how much I appreciate you saying that. Committing to the bit? God, committing to the bit. I should have a song called "Committing to the Bit" for how often I do that. I feel you though, but yeah, I never mean any offense. It's never any offense. I think all of your babies are beautiful, and your pets are great and cool, and your plants are great and cool and beautiful. I think I think the only reason I give Taylor and Nicole a pass to send me pictures of plants is because Taylor's the only reason that I have a plant. It's like a weird pass. It's a weird pass that I'm giving to Taylor. Okay, I think the only one I don't go in is game discussion, says Unbe. Word up. Word up. Word up. I feel. I feel. I feel for sure. This is the end. I'm glad everybody's doing okay, by the way, for the most part. I mean, I know it's been a rough year. There's a lot of stuff going on. I don't really put a lot of stuff in the Discord and stuff like that. I'm not really that person. Usually, I tend to try to wait until after the bad is over to share it. I've talked about this in all the time, but usually I wait until after I'm not going through the thing anymore to tell people about it. It's usually like hey y'all, I was homeless for a few months. It's never like, hey guys, I'm homeless right now. Never that. Never that. Always never that. But I'm glad to hear that everybody's doing at least generally okay, trending upward. I don't know. You guys figured out what's going on this year? I definitely haven't. I talked to you in yesterday's stream about one of my big personal flaws is that I usually can't tell when there's a big shift. I always think everything's temporary, and I think a lot of my brain, body, mind, heart, mental, emotional, soul, whatever, is still adjusting to the reality that I think I'm in a permanent shift in my life and in the world, and not some temporary like timeout or like a recess period. And so that's it's been a time, but things are going okay, and we are in the final week, guys. We're in the final week of season 2, so celebrate. We'll have a pizza party for sure sometime soon. I'm sorry, Brian. Was the bit stolen from you? Okay. As far as news, I do have music out. Signals, Tall Tales, House of Omni, Nice Dream, Love Dream, Speed Dream, Daydream, Lush Dream, and you can find all of those. Oh, sorry, and Quicko Breath, and Quick Breath and Ego Death. You can find them. Oh, I see what I did. You can find them on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Groove, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube. YouTube. Check out my Quarantunes. It's a series of videos I've made with original songs in them. It was a lot of fun to make them, and I will be back. I will be back to them. Something very. I can do both. I can do both, Liana. I can do both. I can do both. I can do both. Liana, I can't skip pizza today. It might be the only good thing that happens to me today. It might be the only good thing in LA right now. But I think when I think about those videos, right? When I think about the quarantine videos, as I'm returning to them, I'm thinking, what am I? This is a conversation I can't have in this stream, but I definitely think, like, what exactly is my contribution to this? What is this? Do you ever think about that, Nart? Do you ever think about what exactly you are? Do you ever think about, like, I wonder when I'm making these things, what my contribution is to them? Obviously, you're taking in a lot of inspiration, right? Like a little bit of, maybe if you're drawing, maybe a little bit of Akira Toriyama comes out in you. Maybe a little bit of Disney comes. Brian. Yo, whoa, whoa, whoa. What kind of pizza do you think I'm eating? You think I'm getting the truffles? You think I'm getting the truffle juice? Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Brian and Lindsay. I do appreciate that. What a good start to my year. My year hasn't started. Dar says the year doesn't start until Trump leaves office. I guess my year doesn't start until I release a quarantine. Word monster pizza. Oh, that's true. I could feed the cul-de-sac. That's a lot. Thank you, though, for real, Brian. Brian, I gotta talk to you about Arizona stuff. It doesn't have to be in the stream because I don't want to alienate anybody. Maybe it'll be in Discord when everybody else is asleep or something. I gotta talk to you about Arizona stuff because that's wild. That's wild. It's very, very rare that... It's not rare that I run into people from Arizona, but it's rare that I run into people from Arizona that are willing to admit that that's where they are from or currently living. But thank you, I do really appreciate that, Brian. But yeah, sometimes I wonder, like, what your artistic voice is, what your contribution is to the form. If you look at a Lewis Cole video, you know it's a Lewis Cole video. If you hear a Lewis Cole song, you know it's a Lewis Cole song. You look at a Brian Works video, you know it's... Sorry, Brian. I'm talking to you, and then I just put your name in Bill. You look at a Bill Words video, you know it's Bill. You hear a Bill Words song, you know it's Bill. You maybe like look at a Sean Wasabi video back in the day, you know it's Sean. You hear a Sean song, you know it's Sean. And sometimes when approaching music and visual aspect of music, I have to think to myself, okay, is this indicative of me? Is this me? Is this my sound? Or is this nothing? And I want to say that the way my videos are built isn't too... What's the word? Derivative is the word. Isn't too derivative of other artists. Sometimes as an artist, we all see that in our art. We go, I hope what I'm doing isn't just the poor man's blank. Am I the poor man's blank? Am I the poor man's Guy Akimoto? Does anybody know who that is in here? Am I the poor man's Guy Akimoto? Am I the poor man's, I don't know, Melty Cannon? I'm trying to think of people that I've specifically been compared to. Am I the poor man's Bowen? Am I the poor man's Ujiko? Sometimes you think about things like that, and even though they're typically not true, I think that sometimes thinking about that can be helpful in helping you exactly not figure out who you aren't, but figure out who you are and what your voice is and where it lies, you know? Yeah, thank you, Cyber. Those weren't actual questions. Sorry, those were like. It was mostly me joking because these are artists I've been compared to a lot. But sometimes when approaching art, you have to go like, what is my contribution? What is the thing that people will look at, hear, or experience, and in the first few moments go, that's him, that's her, that's them. They did the thing. I know who they are. Anyways, I know Guy Akimoto says jelly. Oh, that's funny. Is the Black Coalition... Whoa, my phone's gonna die. Hold on. I need to end the stream anyway, but just to make sure it doesn't cut me off at the very end. It might be because you're black, Jelly. I'm joking. Liana probably knows who Guy Akimoto is. Um, Guy Akimoto, just for anybody else in the stream, Guy Akimoto was basically me before I existed, unfortunately, for both of us. Guy Akimoto was just like the black person in the like cutesy music scene that was the black person in that space. Like the only reason I'm even allowed to exist in that space is because he was already there. And people were like, "Oh, it's like another one. Is that your brother? Are you guys brothers?" And I was like, "No, just another black man." And then I would like go to his shows and people would come up to me and go, "Guy Kimoto, oh my god, so nice to meet you. Can I have an autograph?" And I'd say, "No, just another black person, but thank you so much for being here." And I'm like, "Oh, never mind, you're Omniboy, you're that other one. You both wear glasses," is what they would say. Anyways, he's definitely a person who exists as Jelly. Indeed. Indeed. He's very cool though. He's very cool and I love him to pieces. Also, he posted a photo recently and like he has dreads now and I'm like, well, I guess I have to cut my hair off. Because he didn't used to. He used to have like a flat top. And then I had twists and it was like how we weren't the same. And always running from Guy. Anywho, I'm getting sidetracked. Yeah, finding your voice as an artist and figuring out what your contribution is doesn't have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to be this like trying to run away from other artists, like me running away from Guy Akimoto. Sometimes it can just be like sitting in a room alone and going like, what is my contribution? What do I want to share? And that can be really good. That can be really good. And I hope everybody else is figuring out what that is for them, artistically and unartistically as a person. So there's a new leaf coming in. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about in the stream. There's a new leaf coming in. And I'm going to show my ignorance. I'm bearing my ignorance for ye all people because remember, I'm not a plant person. This is my first and maybe last plant. Maybe they'll die and then I'll die and I won't have to foster any more plant life. But I was looking at the new leaves come in, right? And this is the newest leaf, right? And it's still got that gooey, waxy sheen to it where it's all shiny and it's not dull like all the other old leaves. And it's the biggest leaf, right? It's the biggest of them all. And so I was thinking, full frontal ignorance. Yes, Cyber. This is ignorance. I'm doing it. Remember when I said that I didn't know that Cubert was called that because of cubes? Just allow me to do this. I look at the tiny leaves at the bottom that are growing, right? They're small. They're growing. They're tiny leaves. They get bigger. They get taller and they get bigger, and their necks get fatter. Necks? Yeah, I'm going to say necks. Their necks get fatter and they get bigger and taller. And then another leaf comes out of his neck that's the same size as this leaf. Does every small... I love Jelly. Okay, wait, hold on, guys. Okay, so if every small leaf... Are there other people in his neck? Every small leaf? Does every small leaf have a finite amount of neck babies that it can spawn once it gets to like a certain size? And are its neck babies always as big as him? They're never small leaves? Also, if he himself is a neck baby, does he have the potential to also be neck pregnant? Or is it more like one baby grows and several neck babies come out of him and they have reached terminal fertility and you need another little one to grow up and then sprout out neck babies himself? The neck babies do grow up fast, Liana. You're right. Terminal nectitude is so much better. Thank you. Thank you, Cyber. I just, something I was thinking about. There's little guys here. There's little guys here with just the skinniest necks. There's no way that they can foster babies, you know? Anyways, thank you everybody for being in Morning Medley. I'm gonna play Hush Hour now. This song is a song that I wrote while I was in Hong Kong, and it usually marks the end of the stream, but that's just for season 2 and prior. Once we move on to season 3, Hush Hour is going to return to just being a regular medley tune while I come up with, or at point, a new closing theme. Season 3 is going to be slowed down, Midnight Drift. Stop it, MV. Stop saying that. I keep forgetting how to play that song. New leaves, big leaves. Don't leave. Be free. Indeed. Indeed. I'm going to make a song about Booba. The song is going to be called If You Die, I Die. Can Shadow Clone be the ender for season 3? Says Jelly. Maybe it'll be a segment. Maybe it'll be a segment intro, Jelly, because season 3 is also supposed to have scripted segments. Not segments that are scripted, but segments whose existence is scripted in the episode of Morning Medley. So maybe it'll be like a transitionary tune. How about that? It's so funny because I imagine coming up with all these segments for season 3 and then struggling to stay rigidly dedicated to them and just falling apart, as I usually do when I set some type of expectation for myself. I Dream of Leaves is really good. We don't know. Wow, that's... I Dream of Leaves is very good. What the heck? That sucks. I don't like when people come up with stuff that I like. I don't like when people come up with stuff that I wish I came up with. I'm gonna be thinking about your plant question for the rest of the day, says Lindsay. As absurd as it was, I don't know the answer. Oh, was it absurd? I thank you everybody also for allowing me to be stupid. I know it's a stupid question. I mean, I was playing with it a little bit, but I mean, I honestly don't know. And I look at how many of the new leaves are coming out of necks, and they're coming out pretty big. You know? I don't know. And the babies obviously are not. The babies seem to be taking forever to grow, right? Forever to grow. Seems almost unfair that the babies take so long to get big, but then the big guy can just spit a completely full-grown big guy out of his neck. Doesn't even have to grow, unless it was growing in the neck the whole time. And if that's true, then that means all these little babies have babies just stuck in their necks. And that's why their necks get so fat. Yeah, they're so dumb and small. Exactly, Brian. Brian, we gotta talk about Arizona. Thank you. Wait, hold on. Now I'm done with Cyberpunk 2077. I can return to Mother 3 streaming. Word up, word up, word up. Really quickly before I end, Cyber, I did think of, I did have a really weird dream about Tiny Tiny Island. Also, when you were saying Tiny Tiny Island, I thought you were saying Tiny Tiny Island with like a southern accent. I thought you were doing a bit. I didn't know that it was like T-A-N-E, T-A-N-E. But I had a really weird dream about that. And I was looking for you and I couldn't find you and I had a panic attack. It was pretty cool. Anywho, thank you everybody for being in the Morning Medley stream. And again, thank you for your patience for those of you that were very patient during the break. Because I wasn't streaming for a little while. I do appreciate you guys. I'll be back here at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. No pizza that day though, and we're gonna march bravely through the rest of this week, and then we're gonna end the season, and then we're gonna have a pizza party, and then we're gonna, I don't know, watch Sentai or something. I might do like a weekly Sentai viewing, and make my way through one of the Sentai series. Anyways, abo everybody.